Hey everyone, Nigel and Luke here, and welcome to Crime Zone.
Authorities in Bucks County, Pennsylvania say that they're looking for the culprits responsible for a massive restaurant brawl this week after an argument over steak reportedly turned violent. The incident took place on January 29th at a Golden Corral restaurant in the town of Bensalem. It allegedly involved as many as 40 people who were captured in pictures and videos of the fight throwing punches as well as tables, chairs, and other objects. Reports differ on how the fight actually started, but what we do know is that it began with an argument between two groups of customers who were waiting in the buffet line for steak. While some sources state that the argument happened because the restaurant ran out of steak, a former employee of the Golden Corral, Dylan Becker, offered a different explanation. Becker said, quote, "There was two parties in line waiting for steaks. Somebody had cut in front and then started being picky and finicky about the steaks and taking too long. And then somebody else spoke up and said something I guess the other party didn't like, and it looks like it turned into an all-out brawl." Though thankfully it appears that there were no major injuries as a result of the fight, Becker said that some of the employees were hurt while trying to get things under control. He said his friend's ankle was bruised quite badly when she was hit with a table while trying to break up the fight. At the time of this recording, authorities say they are still investigating the incident to see who's responsible for starting it. They say that they could be facing assault charges.
Representatives from the United States Secret Service say that they have arrested an Arizona man this week after he was accused of stealing nearly $400,000 over 4 years while working at Home Depot. According to investigators, between January of 2018 and January of 2022, Adrian Jean Pineda stole $387,500 while working as a vault associate for a Home Depot location in the city of Tempe. He was reportedly able to do this by replacing genuine money from the store's cash deposits with counterfeit bills he had purchased online. Pineda's job as a vault associate meant that he was responsible for preparing the store's cash for deposit. This included counting the money that had been taken from the registers and sealing it for transfer to a nearby Wells Fargo bank. Investigators allege that during his regular duties, Pineda would steal some of the genuine money from the deposits, replacing the exact amount he had taken with counterfeit money he had purchased on Amazon. According to reports, despite the fact that the bills Pineda was adding to the cash shipments were obviously fake, it still took some time to link him to the crime. His managers at Home Depot finally became suspicious in December of 2021, and a subsequent investigation was able to uncover evidence of him swapping out the money at least 16 times. Pineda was arrested at work on January 31st. He was reportedly carrying $5,000 in counterfeit currency and $5,300 in genuine currency at the time. A thorough search of his residence revealed a further $22,000 in real money. Reports don't mention what specific charges Pineda is facing at this time. However, it's said that his first court appearance is on February 7th.
Authorities in Alabama say that they have arrested and charged a 32-year-old man with murder this week after he was accused of murdering his 25-year-old girlfriend. According to reports, the incident began at around 4 a.m. on January 29th when family members of 25-year-old Madison Pilkington went to her home at the Halston apartment complex in the city of Hoover. They wanted to check on her after not hearing from her for a couple of days and learning that she had not shown up to work the previous day. When the family members entered Madison's apartment, they allegedly found her dead under a pile of blankets on the couch. Her head had been covered with a grocery bag, and it appeared that she had been badly beaten. Her boyfriend, who had lived at the apartment, 32-year-old Cortez Leonard Warren, was nowhere to be found. However, there were signs of a struggle inside. A few hours after the horrifying discovery, police issued a be on the lookout request for Warren. He was spotted later that afternoon in his white Nissan Altima, leading officers from multiple police agencies on a high-speed chase on Interstate 65 before finally surrendering. Though it's unclear if Warren has confessed to the murder, reports allege that he admitted to cleaning up the crime scene while being interviewed after his arrest. It's said that Warren was previously arrested in 2016 on domestic violence charges against another woman. However, ultimately those charges were dropped. At the time of this recording, Warren remains in police custody on a $262,000 bond. He has been charged with murder, tampering with physical evidence, and unlawful possession of marijuana.
Authorities in Santa Fe County, New Mexico say that a couple of local homeowners were recently taken on quite the wild emotional ride when they arrived home to find an armed burglar in their house, only to have him apologize and give them money. According to reports, the incident took place sometime during the last weekend of January, when the couple came back to their residence on the outskirts of Santa Fe after being away for at least a day. When they got there, they were surprised to find an unknown man inside, who was armed with a rifle and who had broken in by shattering one of their windows. However, instead of threatening the homeowners or trying to flee, the man immediately apologized to them, saying that he was embarrassed about what he had done. He went on to claim that he was running from someone and that his family had been killed in East Texas, and that he needed a place to stay after his car broke down outside of Santa Fe. During his time in the house, the unknown man had reportedly slept, bathed, and helped himself to some food and beer. After apologizing for what he had done, he gave the homeowners $200 to fix the window, as well as for the $15 to $20 worth of food and beer he had consumed before heading out on his way. By the time police arrived at the scene, the unknown man was nowhere to be found. Authorities have described him only as a man who appeared to be in his late 20s and who was roughly 6 feet tall. At the current time, the man's identity remains a mystery.
Representatives from the FBI say that they've captured one of their top 10 most wanted fugitives this week, a suspect who's been on the run for more than 16 years. According to reports, 48-year-old Octaviano Juarez Coro was arrested in the Mexican city of Zapopan after authorities received a tip that he was hiding out there. His arrest was a joint operation between Mexican authorities, the FBI's International Operations Division, and the FBI's Milwaukee Field Office. Though Coro wasn't added to the top 10 most wanted list until December of last year, authorities have been searching for him since May 29, 2006, when he shot 5 people, killing 2 and wounding 3 others. The incident took place at South Shore Park in Milwaukee, where Coro's soon-to-be ex-wife had gathered with friends and family for a Memorial Day picnic. According to reports, Coro showed up to the event and demanded to see his 3-year-old daughter. He and his wife were in the final stages of a divorce at the time. When Coro was told that he couldn't see the child, he allegedly began shooting. His wife was one of the 5 people shot, and though she was hit twice in the chest, she ultimately survived her injuries. Now that Coro has been arrested, he will stand trial for numerous offenses back in the U.S. These include 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide, 3 counts of attempted first-degree intentional homicide, and 1 count of unlawful flight to avoid prosecution.
Authorities in Salt Lake County, Utah, say that they have arrested a suspect this week after he was identified as the person behind the recent theft of an Amazon delivery truck, as well as several packages. According to reports, the incident took place on the afternoon of January 7th in the city of Sandy, when the unidentified suspect jumped into an Amazon delivery truck near the neighborhood of 600 East and Stonefly Drive, during a short window when the driver was walking packages to a nearby residence. However, what the suspect didn't know was that the vehicle was equipped with an onboard camera, which was pointed directly at his face and was recording him. After driving a short distance, the suspect eventually clued into the camera's existence and fled the vehicle with several packages. By this time, it was far too late. The vehicle was quickly discovered, and images of the man were distributed to the public by police in order to make an identification. Sure enough, someone recognized the man, and on February 2nd, he was arrested. Though police have not yet released his name, citing an ongoing investigation, many people are now jokingly referring to him as the, quote, prime suspect. At the time of this recording, it remains unclear how many packages the man stole or what the total value of the items were.
Authorities in Rockingham County, Virginia, say that they've arrested and charged a suspect this week after he allegedly shot and killed 2 campus officers at a local liberal arts college. According to reports, the incident began on the afternoon of February 1st when authorities received multiple calls and reports about a suspicious person on the campus of Bridgewater College. 2 of the people sent to investigate the report were 55-year-old campus officer John Painter and 48-year-old campus safety officer Vashon J.J. Jefferson. Reports say that Jefferson and Painter came face-to-face with the suspect, 27-year-old Alexander Wyatt Campbell, near the college's Memorial Hall around 1:20 p.m. After a brief exchange, Campbell allegedly opened fire on the officers, killing both of them. He then fled the scene on foot. In order to avoid being caught, Campbell reportedly waded across a nearby river and onto an island. However, police soon caught up with him and he was taken into custody. At the time of his arrest, Campbell was reportedly suffering from a non-life-threatening gunshot wound, though it's unclear if this was self-inflicted or whether he was shot during his confrontation with Painter and Jefferson. At the current time, no motive has been announced behind the crime. However, it's said that Campbell is a former student of Bridgewater College. He's now facing numerous charges, including 2 counts of capital murder, 1 felony count of first-degree murder, and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony.
Authorities in Baltimore, Maryland say that they have finally made an arrest in the murder of a 22-year-old woman this week, nearly 5 years after she abruptly disappeared without a trace while 8 months pregnant. According to reports, the case began on May 7, 2017, when 22-year-old Akia Eggleston failed to show up to her own baby shower. Akia was never seen or heard from again. When police began investigating the situation, they quickly concluded that there was little to no chance that Akia had disappeared of her own free will. Aside from being pregnant and usually staying in constant contact with family, Akia also had a young daughter who she never would have abandoned. Though it's taken nearly 5 years and Akia's body has still not been found, investigators say they believe that she was murdered and that they now believe they know who is responsible: 41-year-old Michael Robertson. According to reports, Robertson was the father of Akia's unborn child and has long been a suspect in the investigation. For starters, Robertson was also suspiciously absent from the baby shower where Akia was first discovered to be missing. Not only that, but he had been secretly having a relationship with another 22-year-old woman at the time with whom he also had a child. Investigators allege that on the night of May 2, 2017, Robertson's secret blew up when Akia posted a photo online discussing her pregnancy. That photo reportedly led to an argument between Robertson and the other woman he was seeing. The next day, cell phone data placed Robertson at Akia's apartment, showing that he was the last person to be with her before she disappeared. Shortly after that, Akia's cell phone was also shut off for the last time. That same day, Akia was captured on surveillance video at a bank where she deposited a paycheck before making a cash withdrawal of $450. Police say that this sum of money was half of a deposit that she believed her and Robertson were putting down for a new place together. However, later that night, Robertson visited his brother and allegedly had the money. Police allege that over the next few days, Robertson also made several suspicious internet searches involving the Baltimore City landfill and when garbage was picked up from dumpsters. According to reports, the landfill was searched back when Akia first disappeared. However, investigators were only able to dig 4 feet down into the 40-foot landfill because of toxic gases. Robertson later moved to Michigan with the other 22-year-old woman he had been seeing at the same time as Akia. Michael Robertson was arrested on February 1st and has now been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in connection with the death of Akia and her unborn child. At the time of this recording, he remains in custody in Michigan. That's it for this edition of Crimes of the Week. If you enjoyed our video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Crime Zone for more true crime content like this, making sure to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our latest releases. Thank you for watching.